Welcome back into the workshop, and this Dave's Diary update is one with both a bit of a plus and a bit of a minus theme to it. The plus is I've got my new machinery over there, the dust extractor and separator, and this is my old one. Now, as you have heard in so many of the other videos, I've mentioned about what I'm doing, and that this is an older machine that I've had for quite some time. Still works like it's brand new, as far as I'm concerned at least. It's a 1 horsepower dust extractor, supposedly has 500 to 600 CFM capacity or capability. This new one has a 2 horsepower motor and about a 1200 CFM capability. Rightio. I stick an anemometer onto the ports of the, make note, separator and the old collector. Yeah, big pause there. Because I wanted to test what the airflow rate was, and they're the same. I go, huh? How's that even possible? Unlikely. But the reading that I got on that was the extract to the port of the extractor. This is on the separator, not the actual machine. So very, very much unfair to compare it. However, if I'm getting the same extraction there, I am no better off at the machinery end of things than had I stayed with the old 1 horsepower motor unit. Now, I do not believe that, and I think there's something to do with my brand new anemometer that I use, or not the anemometer itself, but me using it and being able to read it properly. But if I'm wrong and it is the correct reading, well, then I'm no better off having spent the money for this. Now, I was aware, and I've been discussing that in my observations because I'm pretty new to the dust extraction approach, like having a duct system in. But that said, I hadn't anticipated, if correct, that the separator would have halved the potential of the extractor itself. But that's what it initially appears like. Now, I can back that up by saying when I turn the extractor on with the separator hooked up, the bags don't fully snap, like inflate properly. They're kind of like, they're kind of inflated, but not really. When I take the separator out of the system, out of the loop, bang, they operate normally. And I'm thinking, that's not good. That bodes not well. So it's saying that my initial reading on the anemometer might be correct. Now, the mitigating thing is when I pop my hand over the port there with it all hooked up, and on the old extractor, I feel like there is a lot more suck there than there. Now, I'm not talking about velocity, I am talking about the air flow. And yes, I had my anemometer set to the right setting because it reads many different things, but it was on the airflow setting, and the CFMs were up, reading. So I'm a bit puzzled. The pressure seems to be higher there than on the old one. So, yeah, darn. Now, I'm going to talk a wee bit about the ducting there in a moment. But when I did some cuts on the saw, I didn't actually perceive any difference. Was there? There's just got to be. And, just moving things around. There's just got to be. And I need that anemometer, and I have to know how to use it to be able to make that judgment. Because at the end of the day, the pressure on these two openings here will be the final deciding, factor of, or gauge. Now, what I can do is bypass the separator and hook the machine, the extractor itself, straight up to the port. Very easy to do. Might do it, don't want to do it. Well, there's no reason why I don't want to do it, but I want to rationalise all the ductwork a little bit more. But when I take the separator off of the system, those bags really do pop out and quite taut, because they've been inflated properly. So, yeah, a bit nervous about that. I don't mind spending the money. Didn't want to spend the money. Maybe if I come to the conclusions that I shouldn't have spent the money, then I'll be a bit peed off to think that the old extractor was doing an equivalent job as the extractor and separator. Now, that said, I did think about just getting the extractor itself, but I soon realised that the plastic bag, the popping on and off of it as it fills, it's going to drive me nuts. The better approach would have been like on this old one where they have the straps inbuilt, so that things hook up and tighten up. Fabric bag top and bottom, much better. I did do the right thing and watch some other videos previously, fortunately, and they're saying about how using magnets to when you're putting the bag on is a bit of a game changer for swapping the bag and cleaning the bag, emptying the bag, sort of thing. I followed their advice, and boy were they right. And it turned out that not only were they right, but the hardest thing was that flaming band around the bottom. So yeah, I think, and it's just not this particular brand, but I think that sort of approach is the way they make things much cheaper overall. The metal on it, quite light compared to my other one that's quite robust, but considering it was built in the late 90s, no surprise. So, just saying. But the physical dimensions are quite different on the actual extractor itself. Okay, all that said, I'm 50-50 whether it was a major plus. Excuse my cough. No, it's not the dust. Now, I've already modified slightly the connectors, and I'm using PVC piping. It's actually a 6-inch to 4-inch or 150mm to 100mm adapter transition, and I've put one on the top and on the inlet here to the cyclone. The reason for that is it's better than what came with it by a long shot, and the ductwork goes into this much, much better, way better. And the pipe, the flexi tubing, piping there, fits into the fittings like that very, very well, seals off, holds in. It's not flopping in and out anytime soon. Now, I'll just put yours down for a moment, so you're going to have a really good look at the dusty, dirty window for a reason. Fighting these pipe fittings. There we go, I've got one. But what I've got are these pipe fittings. They're 45 degree. Everyone knows you should use 45 degree. Yeah, whatever. But a bit over it in some ways. But they are correct. This is a internal to external, or male to female, if you want to go that route. And as such, you can't get much better than that. If you're not going to have blast gates, you've got to have this sort of thing working quite well. It seals off quite nicely, so I don't have to worry too much about air leakage. And a sequence of them, well, it's going to be better. What I did have was these Y junctions, which to me is, I could almost say, a waste of time, because I don't use a second tube, and it's smaller. They would fit inside the flexi ducting tubing, and I didn't want that. These PVC fittings, the flexi ducting fits inside it, so it means I've got no restrictions on the actual flexi pipe, the ducting itself, and I can stick that onto, have one of these each end of the flexi ducting like I've got here, and I can, if I can wriggle it, So that's actually my fitting. As I said, pointing camera. I can have one of these at each end, so it's a bit like a double-ended extension plug. You can just plug it in and it's done. Ditto on the other end, as I said. All of the pipes are like that, and where they fit onto another fitting, I can reduce them down so that all those standard fittings can be used in combination to get the maximum airflow that's available to me from the extractor, the ducting, and the pipe and the fittings, etc. So all of that waffling means that I need to really try and eliminate or minimize the amount of this particular ducting and this particular ducting type, i.e. flexible piping, and I'm going to try and fit a hard line into this point here. It will kind of still need a little section of pipe, but I'm going to try and keep that as small as possible, just to reduce the amount of friction loss. I pretty much think that's like pushing it uphill, but what else do you do when you see such a reduction in the performance of the extractor when you hook this in? So anything I can do to mitigate that, yay. Other than there being a blockage somewhere, there's not. But other than that, what can you do? If I want to make use of the cyclone separator with the bin on the bottom to enable me to empty easier the chip, then I've got to put up with it. Could I have gone with a 3 horsepower motor? And the answer is yes, but in the configuration, not really. It would have been a double bag on top, double bag on the bottom. That's really a overkill for a workshop like this. This is probably overkill for what I do, but sometimes I fill up the bags pretty quickly, and I didn't want to be driving myself spare, having to, like going crazy with having to access, remove, put back in, if it was a bit difficult, which it is. It's okay when it's out in the workshop and you can get to it, but when it's tucked away in a corner like that, or in a cupboard almost, not so ideal. This can stay out of the storage area, can be in the workshop, not ideal. And I have changed my focus for what the next jobs are going to be from, from some landscaping architecture that I wanted to do, a trial run of something. I'm going to probably refocus or do it at the same time. The job that I've got stored in that storage area, and they need to have a bit of work done on them and then perhaps sold or stored somewhere else. But I need them out of that area to allow me to consider putting this in. The reason for that is there's I've got just a temporary dividing wall in the storage area, and I'd need to be able to remove that to allow these machines to be tucked around the corner. So I'm still in that stage of not knowing really what I'm doing or what I want or what the outcome will be. So yeah, big reduction in performance. I had seen where some systems, do have, even up to 20-30%, but it's almost halved. So it's a 50% reduction if I'm reading the anemometer right. But like I said before, when you stick your mitt in the port, it does feel like it's got a lot more suck there. So yeah, but that's not very scientific, is it? Yeah, we do these things. Anyway, if I learn to use the anemometer correctly, I'll do all the readings and all different configurations and jot them down. But until then, I'm just going to make as good a job of it as I can, and see how we get on. Righty-ho, with that bit bit of a bummer note. Yeah, I'm going to try and make it work better than it currently is now. So fingers crossed for that. And then I'm just looking to the side here. I better have a wee bit of a rationalisation of, so a lot of these pieces are for different aspects of the dust collection, which I'm still planning ahead. This bigger tubing is 65mm, there or thereabouts, and it will be used in a couple of places. So there's that. That's actually the balance tube for the cyclonic separator. I'm bypassing it, don't need it because I'm not using a bag. It has the option of having a bag but not required, so I'm doing without just now. And all the rest of the stuff are just bits and pieces that I use around the workshop on occasion. So yeah, still a bit of a mess. Rightio, that's it. I'll wander off, get some I'm going to try and make some fittings fit together. It's a good thing for fittings, and we'll get back to you in the next video. Rightio, see you then. Bye.